Welcome to my channel. Today we will discuss how Stoicism can help us cope with the inevitable difficulties of life. In our world, filled with uncertainty and stress, it is crucial to learn to accept what we cannot change. Stoics taught us that true strength lies not in avoiding problems, but in facing them courageously. We often get stuck in our fears and dependencies, losing control over our lives. However, by accepting the inevitable, we can free ourselves from the shackles we have imposed on ourselves. In this video, I will share the wisdom of the Stoics and real advice that will help you become more resilient and confident. Let's begin our journey toward inner strength. Accepting the inevitable. Stoics believe that accepting the inevitable is the first step toward inner peace. Imagine facing a situation you cannot control, losing a job, a breakup, or illness. In such moments, many of us start to panic, but Stoics teach us that this is pointless. Instead of wasting energy fighting against what cannot be changed, we should focus on what we can control, our reactions and thoughts. For example, Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and philosopher, said, "Events cannot harm me if I do not allow them to." This means we determine how to react to difficulties. Start by acknowledging your feelings, but don't let them control you. Write down your thoughts and fears and then analyze them through the lens of Stoicism. Ask yourself, what can I change and what can I not? This exercise will help you separate the important from the unimportant and focus on what truly matters. Additionally, practice gratitude. Each day, take time to think about what you are grateful for, even if it's the little things. This will help shift your focus from the negative to the positive, significantly improving your inner state. Accepting the inevitable is not only about recognizing what happens, but also about actively choosing to focus on what brings joy and meaning to your life. Freeing yourself from dependencies. Dependencies are another form of struggling with the inevitable. We may be dependent on the opinions of others, material possessions, or even our own habits. Stoics taught that true freedom comes when we can let go of attachments. This doesn't mean we should reject all of life's pleasures, but it's essential to understand that they shouldn't define our happiness. Start by analyzing your dependencies. What do you do to escape reality? Perhaps you spend hours on social media or dive into endless shopping. Ask yourself, what am I trying to hide from myself? Acknowledge that these dependencies are merely temporary reliefs, not solutions. Use Stoic methods to develop inner strength. For example, practice mindfulness. Each time you feel the urge to return to your dependency, pause and reflect on your true goals and values. This will help you regain control over your life. It's also helpful to set clear boundaries. If you realize that a dependency is hindering you, try to limit the time spent on certain platforms or activities. Replace them with more productive pursuits, such as reading, exercising, or spending time with loved ones. Stoics believe that discipline is the key to freedom. The more you control your habits, the less you depend on external circumstances. Resilience to stress. Stress is an inevitable part of life, and Stoics were well aware of this. Instead of avoiding stress, they learned to use it as a tool for growth. Stress can arise from work, relationships, or even internal conflicts. So how did Stoics cope with this? One method is the practice of negative visualization. Imagine the worst-case scenario. What will happen if you lose your job or your relationship falls apart? This practice may seem unpleasant, but it helps us realize that even in the most challenging situations, we can find the strength to move forward. When you envision the worst-case scenario, you begin to appreciate what you have and become more resilient to stress. It's also important to develop stress management skills. Learn to distinguish what you can change from what you cannot. If a situation is beyond your control, focus on how you can adapt to it. For example, if you face a challenging task at work, instead of panicking, break it down into smaller steps and start taking action. This will help you feel more confident and in control. Moreover, don't forget about physical health. Regular exercise, a balanced diet, and adequate sleep are fundamental aspects that will help you cope with stress. Stoics believe that body and mind are interconnected, and taking care of your body is a crucial aspect of resilience. Inner control. One of the key principles of Stoicism is the idea of inner control. We cannot control external circumstances, but we can control our thoughts and actions. This knowledge gives us the strength to cope with any difficulties. Start with the practice of self-reflection. Every evening, ask yourself questions like, What did I do today to become better? Or how did I handle challenges? This will help you recognize your achievements and areas needing improvement. Keeping a journal can also be beneficial. It allows you to organize your thoughts and see your progress. Remember that your happiness does not depend on external circumstances. It resides within you. Develop inner control, and you will become less vulnerable to external influences. Use meditation and mindfulness techniques to learn to observe your thoughts and emotions without letting them control you. It's also important to surround yourself with people who support you and share your values. Communicating with like-minded individuals will help reinforce your inner control and self-confidence. Remember that you are not alone in your pursuits, and the support of those around you can be a significant factor on your journey. Acceptance and moving forward. The final part of our video is dedicated to acceptance and moving forward. Accepting the inevitable is not an end. It is the beginning of a new path. Stoics taught that every end is an opportunity for a new beginning. When we accept the inevitable, we free ourselves from the burdens that weigh us down. It's important to remember that each of us faces difficulties, but it is precisely during these moments that we can show our true strength. Use the wisdom of the Stoics to find meaning in hardships. Ask yourself, how can I use this experience for my growth? Move forward with confidence, knowing that you can handle any challenges that come your way. Apply Stoic principles in your life, and you will see your strength and resilience grow. Remember that you are not alone. Each of us goes through our trials. Together we can overcome any difficulties and become better. Ultimately, your attitude toward the inevitable defines not only your life, but also your destiny. So let's accept the inevitable and move forward, gaining strength and wisdom on this journey.